Topic for most agents in the Medicare industry is someone aging in, turning 65, right? It's what everyone talks about. It's the pool that most people are fishing out of. And that is legitimately, one of the major enrollment conversations you should have. But another window that I think is just as important that most people aren't talking about are those people who are age 68 to 70, because these are the years that if you delayed Medicare enrollment could potentially shape someone's long-term Medicare cost. Let's get a little bit more into that thought. This is Ansel with probably a 4 or 5 minute Medicare minute. All right, so let me explain what I'm talking about, because I'm not talking about fishing in an underwritten pool for those who are older than 65, though that is a pool that is ginormous that most people are not fishing in. I'm looking more on the retirement side. So when most people retire, their income temporarily drops. Maybe they stop working. Maybe Social Security hasn't started for them yet, or they haven't completely filed. Maybe if they're taking RMDs, those haven't kicked in or something like that. And during this short window, people at least sometimes have more control over their taxable income than really they realize. Now, why does that matter for Medicare, or why does that matter for one of your members, especially if they've delayed enrollment into Medicare? It's because you know as well as I do, Medicare premiums are tied to your modified adjusted gross income, right? Specifically Part B and Part D premiums. Those income or those premiums can increase if your income has crossed certain thresholds. So we know this is IRMA, the income related monthly adjustment amount. And IRMA is not based on your current income. It's based on your tax return from 2 years prior. So the income decision someone makes in their late 60s, early 70s can directly affect their Medicare premiums later. In fact, when my mom enrolled in Medicare, she would have been hit with an IRMA, but her CPA didn't tell her anything about it because they weren't familiar with it. So a planning opportunity arises then for you as an agent. But roughly between 67 and 72, many retirees are in a temporary window where they might not have started under 70 Social Security yet, and they might not have started taking RMDs yet, especially if they want to wait till 70. That means that they can have flexibility in how they manage their taxable income. So I've got an example. Let's say some retirees choose to do a Roth ladder or Roth conversions during those years. And maybe others are harvesting capital gains strategically, or maybe if they're not taking losses, they're taking short-term or long-term capital gains rather than short-term. And other people are reducing larger withdrawals later by adjusting their income today. So they know they want to retire in a year, but they're going to go ahead and offset that income today. And those decisions can affect what their income will look like when Medicare does a back look for their premiums. And again, the Medicare system looks back 2 years when determining an IRMA. So when you're looking at income planning during those years, this is something that can absolutely ripple forward. And your member probably isn't wary of it. And this isn't just about Medicare. It's about understanding the system behind Medicare's premiums. Because Medicare premiums, they obviously can increase, but it can be significant depending on where you cross on the IRMA threshold. Maybe you sold a house. Maybe you got divorced and took a part of a business, and now your Part B and D premium combined puts you on a significantly higher spending level. And those adjustments apply for the entire year once they're triggered. Now, to be clear, when we're talking Medicare planning, it should always be done alongside either a tax professional or some type of financial advisor. But the key point here for agents is that we need to bring awareness. Most Medicare conversations focus almost entirely on your age being 65, with enrollment periods, IEP, ICEP, AEP, MAOEP, the plan options, G, N, high deductible G, innovative G, which MA do you want to be on? Do you want a supplement? Do you want Medicare Advantage? But the financial planning window that happens a few years later is as important, if not right as important, as these conversations, because that Medicare premium doesn't exist in some isolated sphere. It's connected to the broader retirement income picture that you're bringing as the agent to the table. So Social Security timing, investment withdrawals, tax strategy, laddering, Roth conversions, taking RMDs, maybe it's an inherited Roth, or maybe you're 70 or 72. All of those pieces begin interacting. And if retirees understand the window between ages 70 and 72, they may have more flexibility then to manage their long-term cost on Medicare. Medicare planning doesn't just stop at enrollment. In many ways, that's literally just the beginning. The years that follow, they're going to shape how expensive Medicare becomes for your member over their lifetime. That's part of the conversation that deserves a lot more attention than it's receiving. Like I said, when my mom retired, she could have been hit with an IRMA, and her CPA didn't tell her anything about it. It just so happened, because the way she retired, we were able to fill out an SSA 44. And even though she got hit with IRMA, because that SSA 44, we had a valid reason behind it that stopped her from having to pay that. And you could be the same type of angelic guardian